On April 5th, 2024, Diddy was named as a defendant in a 2022 SA lawsuit against King Combs. Now, this is Diddy's son, Christian Combs, and there was a lawsuit that was filed because there was a party on a yacht in December 2022, and there were a lot of drugs and drug use, and one of these employees claimed that they were, assaulted by Christian Combs. Now, her name is Grace, and she claims she thought this trip was a wholesome family excursion, but there were tons of bottles laced with drugs, making it difficult to distinguish which alcohol bottles were laced or weren't laced. She claims that sex workers were sprawled out unconscious on the yacht, while Cassie's 2018 hit Me and You blared in the background. Ugh. Grace claims that she was pressured to take shots with Diddy's son, Christian. She claims that Christian insisted on sitting next to her and became aggressive when he wanted her to continue taking shots. She claims that Christian's aggressiveness turned physical, alleging that he violently grabbed her arm and forced her to take another shot, which she claimed tasted like it was spite. He was accused of touching her legs, breasts, anus, vagina, and he tried kissing her neck, face, and hands, getting all handsy with this employee who just wanted to do her job. Grace claims that she was 25 at the time of this assault, and that Lil Rodney Jr.'s, who we just spoke about, was there and has audio recording of the incident. Grace attached a transcript of the audio recording, which purportedly paints Christian as blocking her from leaving his room. Grace claims that she pushed him away from her, but Christian instead took off his clothes, grabbed her arms, and tried to force her to perform orally on him. In the transcript, Christian, you can hear him say, yo, it's shot o'clock. Grace says, no, I'm not doing shots. Christian says, everybody, we gotta take a shot. And she's like, no. You can hear her saying no, that she doesn't want to do this. And she even asks him, are you drugging me? The lawsuit also includes photos of Grace's alleged injuries. She also claims that the family went on to retaliate against her by firing her in 2023. Grace claims she fell into a deep depression, developed an eating disorder, and suffers from anxiety and panic attacks, and also wanted to take her life at one point. Shortly after that lawsuit was filed, we got another lawsuit. On May 21st, 2024, Diddy was accused of drugging and harming a model in 2003. Now, her name is Crystal, and she claims that she feels morally obligated to speak up. She was actually the winner of an MTV reality show, so she was in the industry and aspiring to become a big model. And she thought that maybe Diddy would help her, but he really only hurt her. She was 22 when the alleged assault happened. She met Diddy at Men's Fashion Week, and they went to, a dinner, and he promised to help her career. Diddy invited her to his studio, where one of his associates offered her a joint and said, you never had weed like this before. And that was true, because she went on to understand that Diddy had laced the joint with a narcotic or some type of intoxicating substance. Diddy pressured Crystal to smoke more and to drink alcohol, and she was severely intoxicated. Seeing that she was drunk, Diddy demanded her to follow him and led her into the bathroom, where he forced her to perform on him. Crystal says that she was dazed after the alleged incident, and in the bathroom she passed out. She woke up in a taxi and realized that she had been harmed by him. The suit also claims that she saved the clothes that she was wearing that night in a plastic bag. Crystal said that in the lawsuit after the incident that her modeling opportunities dried up, and she believes that Diddy blackballed her from the industry.
Crystal says she was introduced to Sean John founder Sean Combs in 2003 with the promise he could advance her modeling career. Instead, she claims he got her drunk and high with a joint that was laced with what she says was a narcotic or other intoxicating substance. Then he sexually assaulted her in a bathroom. Crystal claims that Combs later had her blackballed in the industry, and she even attempted suicide.
Crystal claims that she became severely depressed as she began to blame herself for the assault and for sabotaging her own career. She was fearful of retaliation from Diddy, so she just kind of disappeared and just had this demon haunting her the last 2 decades. Now, on May 24th, 2024, we learned that Diddy allegedly forced a student and Kim Porter to take ecstasy while during an assault. Now, April claims that she met Diddy in 1994 when she was a student at New York's Fashion Institute of Technology. April accuses Diddy of 4 instances of SA from the mid-1990s to the early 2000s. The suit accuses Diddy of battery, assault, negligent infliction of emotional distress, and violation of the victim's gender-motivated violence protection law. April had told Diddy that she wanted to work in the fashion industry, and Diddy promised to mentor her and to to introduce her to important executives in the business. The lawsuit claims what Diddy displayed as kind gestures quickly manifested into aggressive, coercive, and abusive relationships based on sex. In 1994, April accuses Diddy of pressuring her to drink at a New York City bar, and then later in the hotel room, she was laid on the bed where Diddy forced himself on top of her. She said that she pleaded for Diddy to stop. She was nude, sore, and confused the next morning. During another incident, they were in a parking garage where he allegedly grabbed her and demanded her to perform orally on her. April was in shock, morally depleted, and embarrassed, and in physical agony because Diddy violently yanked her down to her knees by pulling her hair. On a night in 1996, Diddy allegedly forced April and one of his former girlfriends, Kim Porter, to take ecstasy at his apartment, after which he demanded the two have sex. After April opposed, Diddy threatened that he could make her lose her job. Diddy then touched himself while he watched Kim Porter and April go at it. Now, around 1998, April ended her relationship with Diddy, but between the end of 2000 through 2001, they met again, and Diddy violently grabbed April and forced himself onto her. As a result, April has suffered and continues to suffer harm, including physical injury, severe emotional distress, humiliation, and anxiety, according to this lawsuit. This lawsuit was filed by attorney Tyrone Blackburn, who's also representing Rodney Jones and Grace, that yacht employee. And now that there are so many lawsuits piling up, it seems like it's about to be a class action situation. CNN reported a federal grand jury may soon hear from Diddy's accusers. Federal investigators are preparing to bring accusers of Diddy to a grand jury. Possible witnesses have been notified by investigators that they could be brought in to testify in front of a federal grand jury in New York City. They would be bringing individuals who have filed civil lawsuits against Diddy to go and to make their case, because the government has a much bigger problem, and I think they're going to combine all of these other lawsuits we've gone through and really get him. One source said investigators are being thorough and taking their time to ensure an indictment, should there be one, is bulletproof. So this time Diddy's going down, and we've got the government resources and their attention and an entire team who's listening to every accuser and collecting all the evidence.
The Department of Justice may be taking steps to indict music mogul Sean Diddy Combs.
Two sources close to the investigation tell us that a federal grand jury may soon hear from Diddy's accusers. Since November, Combs has been named in 8 civil lawsuits, 7 of them directly accusing him of sexual assault.
Now, those are some of the lawsuits we have, but there could be more going forward, especially because 50 Cent sells a Diddy documentary to Netflix after a bidding war. Now, 50 Cent wasn't trolling when he was talking about a Diddy documentary, which may feature new witnesses, new victims as well. So we might be seeing new people who have been, silent because they've been waiting for this TMZ documentary. We're told there was a massive bidding war over the documentary, which was produced by 50's production company. And it looks like Netflix was the big bidder, and it will be on their platform sooner than later. Thank you for watching this clip from the Let's Get Into It podcast. To view the full episode, visit the link listed below.